Welcome to the Level 3 training video. In this video, we will walk through how to identify Level 3 transactions and be able to add that information to our sales. A quick note before we start, I am logging into a professional account, which has access to be able to process Level 3 data. I am also logged in as the account administrator and have access to all the menus. If you log in and do not have access to some of the menus, be sure to check with your Paytrace account administrator to get the permissions added so that you can view these pages. So what is Level 3 data and why is it important? Level 3 transactions are specific types of credit cards that you accept from your customers. They are typically purchasing cards, corporate cards, government spending account cards, as well as others. Level 3 data is simply additional transaction information passed along with the transaction when it is settled to the issuer for funding. This information is optional, however, providing this information will normally help reduce processing costs associated with these cards, as well as provide enhanced reporting about these transactions. So how do you know when to enter Level 3 information? Paytrace is able to identify if your transaction will be able to accept Level 3 information and display that to you when processing your transaction. Let's process a transaction and take a look at it firsthand. I'm going to process a transaction on a test credit card that will prompt us to add Level 3 information. Once I process the transaction and it approves, I can already tell that there's something different about this transaction. There is some bold red font in the middle of the page letting me know some additional information. It is letting us know that we have accepted a purchasing card, and adding Level 3 data will help this transaction to qualify. It also provides a link to be able to add this information, and we will want to click on it. We can think of adding Level 3 information as a two-step process. The first step is to add what's called the enhanced data, which is the page we are currently on right now. Once we complete this page, we will be prompted to add a line item to our transactions, which we will get to in just a moment. It might look overwhelming at first, however, after a few transactions, you will be able to move through this page very quickly. Paytrace also allows you to set defaults for these fields, so you can have them pre-populate with the information that you want, so it is easier for you to get through the page and get done with the transaction. This transaction already has information pre-filled for us based on some stored defaults. Visa and MasterCard will require accurate responses in some of the fields being asked for, such as a local tax amount. It is a good idea to contact your merchant service provider to find out what information you need to provide in order for your transaction to qualify. Rules and regulations for Level 2 and Level 3 processing often change, and working with your merchant service provider, who is your direct contact for credit card processing rules and regulations, will be a good idea to make sure you are entering the information that is going to best help your transaction. Now let's begin adding in our information to our transaction. As we work through the list, if we do not know what a specific field is asking us for, we can enable the Helpful Hints option towards the top right-hand corner. This page will refresh, and if we put our cursor over the title of the field, it'll tell us exactly what the field is looking for in a response. The first section, titled Level 2 and Invoice Information, is asking us for an invoice number, customer reference ID, which is often a value passed back to your customer's credit card statement, and some local and national tax amounts. In the section for enhanced data below that, we can start to provide some tax information for your business as well as your customer. As well as we can provide a commodity code that best describes your business and any additional freight and tax options. Once we have provided our information for this transaction, we can click the button at the bottom to save the information. This completes step 1. The second step is to add a line item, which categorizes the items included in the sale. You will be prompted in red font to enter a line item to the transaction with a link to do so. Only one line item is needed for the transaction to qualify. However, additional line items may be added to provide accurate and more enhanced reporting about the sale. Once we click to add a line item, a pop-up window will appear allowing us to enter in items of information related to the product or service being offered in the sale. Again, if we do not know what a specific field is asking us for, we can use the tooltip option to find out what we need to enter. At the bottom, we will want to click to add the line item to the transaction. It will then tell us the line item was added successfully, with options to add another or to close the window and return to the PayTrace page. We only need one, so I will click back to the original PayTrace page and the page will refresh. Now when I look at this page, there is no longer any information in bold red font being prompted to me other than the information below, which can be altered after it's entered. This lets us know that the transaction is now ready to settle and will enjoy the benefits of having Level 3 information added. So what if you forget to enter Level 3 information at the time you process the sale? Level 3 information can be added at any time, however must be added before the transaction settles. You can add Level 3 information to your transactions from the Add Level 3 Data page of your virtual terminal menu. From here, you will be shown your transactions, and any transaction that is needing Level 3 information and does not have it will be highlighted. You may then click on the plus L3 icon to be able to add the information to the transactions needing it. You are also able to set your default information from this page as well. There are links to set up your information for Visa and MasterCard transactions. Once we click the link, a pop-up will appear letting us provide values that will pre-fill the next time we go to add Level 3 information. Once we have all the values set that we want, we will scroll down to the bottom to save these changes. Once we have our defaults in place, adding Level 3 information can be done literally within seconds. As an example, I will process a Level 3 transaction in real time so we can see how long it takes from start to finish. I'm going to go to the Process Transaction page and pull up a stored customer profile real quick and go ahead and process my transaction. Once my transaction processes and approves, I'll go ahead and click to add the Level 3 information. Once I have added all my enhanced data, I'll scroll down to the bottom to save it. And then I'll be able to go ahead and add my line item record to the transaction. And once I add my line item, I'm now done with this transaction and can move on to the next one. This transaction is now going to benefit from having Level 3 information added to it. If you have any questions about Level 3 processing, please be sure to contact PayTrace, and you can get our contact information by clicking on your Support tab in your top right-hand corner. This concludes the Level 3 training video.